94 Rocks the Dark. Jay-Z hanging with you, and I'm hanging right now with Wade Asher from Rockfest over in Cadott, Wisconsin. I'm so excited about this, Wade, because 94 Rocks and Rockfest this year are partnering up as media partners, and I want to first of all say thank you so much for letting us be a part of this great festival. How are you doing tonight?
Good, bud. I'm good. Thanks so much for partnering with us as well, and thanks for having me on, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Let's talk about Rockfest, and I really want to kind of get the nuts and bolts of how this all started. So could you give us kind of the background, the history of Rockfest?
Yeah, I mean, we're in our 28th year this year for 2022, so it's got a kind of a long history. We're centrally located in Cadott, Wisconsin. We're on 360 acres of just really scenic, like, farm fields, you know. So it's a lot of the bands joke around. They count as many cows on the way out to the festivals as they do people when they get out here. But yeah, we'll have like about 25,000 people a day, 3.5 days. It's a pretty cool experience. The fans built this thing 28 years ago and continue to support it and make it what it is today.
And, you know, I actually, last year was the first time I ever got to experience Rockfest, and what you said, it's, first of all, when I was thinking about Rockfest, you're thinking, okay, it's just right off the city, all those kind of things, but no, it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's like you create your own city for 4 days, basically.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. We have 7,000 campsites, so largest campground that I know of in the Midwest. So, but yeah, it creates its own city, and the atmosphere is unbelievable. Like I said before, the people just create the environment.
Now, Hannah, of course, your good PR gal, which you always have to have a good PR gal.
Absolutely.
She said that you are the son of one of the original founders of this. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So my dad was one of the original four. It's kind of a fun story, and of course it always takes place in a bar. Always good stories take place in a bar, right? So one guy had the idea, one guy had the land, one guy was in the right place at the right time, and the last guy had the business mind, which was my father. And yeah, they started it on a dream and slowly built it up over the years, and then he retired, and he asked if he wanted for me to buy him out and take over. And I've been a part of it since I was knee high to a grasshopper, and I was stage manager. I don't know, it was like 17 years, you know. So I've been a part of it forever. So to finally step in that role at the end of 2009 was a pretty cool opportunity. So
was it always originally set up as a rock kind of deal, or was there at the first, I guess, the infancy stages, were they just having anybody come perform?
No, for the Rockfest, it was always rock. It started out with a classic rock festival, and then as the years move on, we've moved more new age rock, and but this, on the grounds here, there was a country festival that actually started 7 years before the rock festival. So the rock festival was the second one. So yeah, it's always been rock, but we've had everybody from, you know, Aerosmith to Tom Petty to Kiss, you know, all those guys, and then we're moving into the newer stuff, like this year with Disturbed and Shinedown and so on. So
is your father still living or not? First of all.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's actually still involved. He's on the board of directors, and his advice for going through all the years is so valuable, and I appreciate his support all the way through this, because it's so important to have that mindset of, listen, I went through all the turmoil of building this thing to get it to here, and this is what to look for, you know, type of thing. So
I got to ask then, what does he think of today's music compared to music 28 years ago?
Oh, he has no idea what this music is now. But, you know, it changes, right? It's just an always evolving thing. You know, he can't listen to the real heavy stuff. The Shinedown stuff of the world he'll listen to, but the real heavy stuff is not his cup of tea. But he knows that's what people want, so he loves it. So.
Wait, what actually is your title? I kind of said you're kind of like the mastermind now of Rockfest, but officially, what is your title for Rockfest?
Well, mastermind is awfully flattering. I mean, we have an amazing team, and there's no I in team, that's for sure, around here. So that's what puts on a great event every single year. But yeah, my title is the GM and promoter of the festivals.
All right, and so GM and promoter, that means you are doing pretty much everything behind the scenes to make everything look perfect when everybody's out there on the scene, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then I book all the talent as well. So
let's talk about that. How difficult has it been over the years, and especially even with the last couple of years with the pandemic and that? How tough has it been to do that booking?
Oh, well, it's always a challenge because there's always so many things involved, whether a band is touring or not, working, if they're overseas, if they're in different parts of the country. There's always so many things that are going on. If they were in your market last year, just always so many different things that go into booking. So yeah, it's finding the right combination of the safe. It's a chess match, that's for sure. But it gets easier and easier every year as you get more and more established, and acts love your events and just want to come back because they love your events. The pandemic threw a whole new wrench in the whole situation. We were the first rock festival to come back in the United States in 2021 after the pandemic by 2 months. So at that time, there was no other tours for the most part going on, no other shows going on. And so routing and getting acts to come do the show was not an easy challenge. I think it was like 13 national acts that ended up dropping off the bill up to 3 months before the event, that I had to replace as all being one-offs. So there's no routing, no like, oh, this act on Thursday is over in Oshkosh, and we can have them on Friday in Kedah. None of that was available. So it was a challenge, but we never gave up, and we pulled it off, and to see the smiles on the fans' face made it all worth it. Yeah,
that's amazing, and I know where you're coming from. I've put on 6 events here for our radio station, and they're mini events compared to what you guys are doing, but yeah, the stress of when you have a band has to drop out, and that how do you replace that band? And it looks like you did a great job last year. Like I said, I had a chance to go there for a day, and it was a lot of fun. And it looked like it was one of the biggest rock fests that you have ever had. Was it? What I had heard is that you sold out all your camping last year. Is that correct?
We did. It was the first time ever we sold all 7,000 campsites in advance. So it was, to date, that was our biggest rock festival that we've had. So I
got to ask, do you have a favorite rock fest memory since you've got 28 years of them? Is there one or two that stands out at all?
Oh boy, it's kind of a blur by now, and everybody tells me I should write a book, but
you should.
But it's pretty cool. I guess the most recent years, and I'll never forget this last year, just because of the how tough it was to pull off the festival for 2021. I mean, everything was against us. Borders closing, different states having different regulations, different thoughts, different mindsets of the pandemic. That was not easy, but the amount of hugs and the amount of smiles and the amount of healing that happened at Rockfest last year, I'll never forget that. That was unbelievable. Before that, one of my favorite moments is when I had Steven Tyler on the stage and Aerosmith. That was pretty cool. I'm kind of a big fan of them, and that was pretty cool. So that was a moment that I was just like, it was pretty aha for me personally. So that was pretty cool. But oh man, there's so many memories, so many conversations.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and of course, in the rock world or for the music world, you don't really want to write about stuff because there's kind of that unwritten rule about things that happen behind the stage. So, right?
You got that right.
Exactly. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens. So,
absolutely.
Hey, we're talking to Wade Asher. He's the general manager of Rockfest, and we should mention Rockfest, Kedah, Wisconsin, coming up July 14th through the 16th. You also have your pre-jam on the 13th. The lineup was announced last week. The lineup is phenomenal. Disturbed, Lamb of God, Evanescence, Hailstorm, Shinedown, Mudvayne. That's just to name a few of the bands. Over 70 bands. You've got 5 stages, the massive stage, 4 side stages. It's a lot of work to put together, isn't it?
It is. We go from 7 full-time employees to 1,800 in a weekend. So, and everybody better be ready because when the gates open, we don't get tomorrow to fix it. So,
I'm going to tell you what. The first time that I ever went to this festival was last year, and it was run as smooth as I've seen any festival. And the reason I say that is everybody knew what to do. I felt like I had basically free reign of the whole place and not any issues at all. So kudos to you, and kudos to your 1,800 are out there rocking it too, because they did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, we're so lucky. I mean, it is when we say Fest family, that's a real thing. I mean, everybody comes back every single year to work the events, and they know it's all about something bigger than them. It's something bigger than all of us, you know. So there's so much pride and joy in making people happy and being at their happy place, you know. So we're pretty lucky. I'm
curious to see if you have to have a deaf ear lot, because I'm sure you got a lot of fans out there going, "Bring this band, bring this band, bring this band." How do you try to please as many fans as you can, or is it just however the bands work, they work?
You know, you'll probably be surprised at this, but I take every call. I take every social media message. Anybody tags me, anybody sends me through Messenger, every single one. And I respond to every single one that reaches out to me. So at the end of the day, the fans are what built this, not me. And if I don't listen to my fans, this festival won't be around. So yeah, I take every single one, and if they have their favorite band, it'll be something more like, well, yeah, they're great, and I won't tell them that I got them or not, but yeah, they're great, or if they're not available, they're not available, you know, that type of thing. But yeah, I think it's important to be able to do that.
All right, let's talk about this year's Rockfest, and tell us what right now is going on, I guess, as you're in the pre-planning stages here, but let's talk about the tickets and what's available yet, I guess, for Rockfest this year.
Yeah, I mean, an unbelievable response. I mean, before we even released the lineup, all of our VIP, all of our top-tier reserve lawn, our VIP campsites, just a lot of areas sold out before we even announced the lineup. So when we announced the lineup, the only thing that was left was GA tickets, GA campsites, and then the pit passes for individual artists because they obviously don't go on sale until the lineup's announced. So that's all that's left. It's GA tickets, general campsites, and then some artist pit passes are left, and a lot of them are now already sold out since we announced the lineup. So everything's going really fast. The response has been unbelievable, and it just tells us that people need live music. So that's a good feeling. So
I guess if you're going to talk to our listener tonight, or tell our listener if they have any interest in going to Rockfest this year, they should probably get those passes and tickets soon.
Absolutely, and just like anything, the sooner you get them, the less money you're going to have to spend, because as it gets closer to the event, the prices start ticking up. So,
if they want more information, they can go to your website. Is that correct?
Yeah, rock-fest.com.
Awesome. And is there anything special maybe for this year that you can tell us about, or any changes from, I guess, past festivals for this year?
Yeah, we're always trying to make the experience better. We're always trying to give the fans more for their buck, and we're always doing more and bigger and better things and give them different experience. There's a lot of things I don't like to announce because I actually like to surprise the fans when they get here, and them to be able to come in and look at things. But there's one of our 5 stages is getting a major overhaul to create the experience way better than it's ever been before. So that's one thing. That's one of the big projects that we're doing. There's 2 other big projects that we're doing as well. But we're always trying to give back to the fans and give them a better experience, because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
And of course, obviously, music is a big part of Rockfest, but you have many other vendors that come into food and merchandise and that also at this experience.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and there's so much other experience. I mean, anything from playing giant games to taking walks in the woods and being scared by high school kids that are, it's just, there's so many different things that we have for experiences out here. Hammock Haven, you name it. we're always trying to give something more, different photo ops, live graffiti, art painting, you name it. There's just a lot of different things. But the experience of the music is very important. But bringing all these other aspects are important as well. Live wrestling, WWE wrestlers here, just a lot of different things.
Awesome. And then you have a special guest too helping out on stage. I know Lou Brutus from Hardwire. He's helping out too. He's kind of the MC, isn't he?
He is. He's kind of a part of the family. He's a good buddy of mine, and just a real good guy. And always comes out to help, and always comes out to support. And just an all around good guy. Does things for the right reasons. So we're glad he's part of the family.
Well, we are definitely looking forward to being there this year, and we're going to try to bring as many Minnesotans over as possible. And of course, you have everybody coming from all over the United States and probably even all over the world to this festival, don't you?
Yeah, I think we're in 14 or 15 countries, every state, but 14 or 15 countries now. It's pretty crazy, the response. People fly in from everywhere, and they make it that's their vacation. They make that their trip every single year, so it's pretty cool to see.
All right, I'll give you the final comments. Is there anything you want to let our listeners know as they get ready for Rockfest 2022?
I just want to say thanks for having me on, and I just want to appreciate the fans so much. If it wouldn't be for them, we wouldn't be anywhere. So we'll see you in July. You guys can make it out. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the warm weather, too. That's good.
Amen to that.
Absolutely. Wade, thanks so much for joining me, and looking forward to seeing you over in July in Cadott, Wisconsin.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, buddy.
Once again, that is Wade Asher. He's the general manager of Rockfest. Don't forget, it's over in Cadott, Wisconsin, July 14th through the 16th. Tickets are on sale now. Get them today at rock-fest.com.